Greetings from Columbia, South Carolina, and welcome into the Colonial Life Arena. It is a basketball Sunday in the SEC as the 6th-ranked Gamecocks of South Carolina host the Appalachian State Mountaineers. Hello, everybody. I am Birch Antley alongside Debbie Antonelli. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. And Debbie, for Dawn Staley, it was a much heralded recruiting class. Many say the #1 recruiting class in the country. And they are looking that way through 3 games.
You know, Birch, when the season started and all the accolades, you kind of wonder, is this class that good? Yes, they're very good. And defenses are usually ahead of offenses this time of year. This team can really D up. They lock in, they play 40 minutes, and they're anchored on the inside by their 6'4" freshman, Aliyah Boston. She is already averaging 5 blocks in 3 games. They're 3-0 to start the season, and she does everything on the defensive end. She runs the middle of the floor, she owns the paint, she defends at the rim, and she ignites their transition game with her shot blocking ability up the floor into their offense.
Her very first collegiate game, she rolls out a triple-double.
Yeah, she's impressive. She's long and athletic, she's active, and she's very good at communicating on the back row. So what happens when you have a shot blocker like that? It allows your perimeter players to really extend, to get up the line, to overplay, and take away space on the offensive player. So it really funnels them into her, and when they funnel them into her, if you over-penetrate, she's going to block your shot.
Meanwhile, for Appalachian State, they have a very experienced squad coming back, and they have one of the top rebounders, not only in the country, but obviously in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, you're talking about Bailey Plummer. She is 6'4", a senior, and she is the #2 in active rebounding right now for her career. She's got over 1,000 rebounds. Only one other player has more rebounds as an active player right now than her, and that's Ruthie Hebert on the #1 Oregon Ducks team.
There you see head coach Angel Elderkin in her 6th season at Appalachian State, and boy, did they finish strong last year or what. They won the Women's Basketball Invitational Championship tournament, going 4-0 there, and she really is happy with the returners that she has this year, and she is certainly an inspiration. We'll talk more about Angel as this game progresses. Tyisha Harris misses that shot, and right off the bat, there is Boston with a rebound and a stick back.
A simple drag screen off the jump ball, possession, and then when you roll hard to the rim like Boston does, you're always going to be in position to offensive rebound.
There's Polachek. Ashley Polachek, returning starter for Appalachian State. Rebound goes to South Carolina.
3 freshmen in the starting lineup for Dawn Staley, and they do a really nice job of working inside out on their second possession.
And there's one of the heralded freshmen, Bree Bill, crashing the boards for South Carolina.
You watch the way they move the ball, and when you take shots that are in your system, you can get to the offensive glass. That foul is called on the floor. Appalachian State and Angel Elderkin told us today in shoot-around, they're going to play their style. They're going to try to play man-to-man. They're going to run their stuff. They've got to worry about them and not worry about South Carolina as much.
Zaya Cook is kicking it out to Bree Bill. Misses that shot. Bree has struggled shooting from the floor through the first 3 games for South Carolina. And I know Dawn Staley is not worried, but she wants to keep Bree shooting the basketball to build that confidence up. They're going to fall at some point.
You know, Bree Bill's got to get easy ones, okay? When you're 1 for 15 in 3 games coming into this game, that's probably not the shot that you take. And it's not a good habit to create, even though it's Appalachian State, and that's not to be disrespectful. What she does well is gets to the free throw line. Now, nobody on South Carolina's team has gone to the line more than Bree Bill.
She is 11 of 19 now from the free throw line is Bree Bill, the freshman from Rock Island, Illinois.
Big body, long, athletic, very good defender, and the people around here compare her to Alicia Gray, who helped South Carolina to a national championship and also was a WNBA Rookie of the Year.
App State, now that is their offensive weapon. Stanley, she did not play against the Gamecocks a season ago, and Stanley is a preseason All Sun Belt selection. She was the MVP in the Women's Basketball Invitational Tournament last year.
And she's number 5 in black. She's their point guard with the ball right here. She leads them in scoring. She's been bummed by a little bit of a twisted ankle yesterday in practice, but she told me today at shoot-around she really wanted to play in this game because she missed it last year.
Zia Cook connects. Zia Cook with a three-pointer for South Carolina, and it's off to the races early here for the Gamecocks. They lead 7-0. Plummer misses the opportunity for a rebound there. It goes to Bree Bill in South Carolina. Here's Ty Harris. How about that, Boston?
Well, Boston is so good at running the middle of the floor. When she gets 2 feet in the paint and she catches it that close to the rim, you're not going to be able to stop her.
It's going to be Bree Bill collecting her second foul early in this game. And that will get Destanni Henderson up as she will check in. Bree Bill will head over to Coach Staley's way.
So not that great of a start for Bree Bill, and a good piece of film, though, for teaching for Dawn Staley.
Picking up the screen is Stanley, and the rebound goes to Boston and the Gamecocks, and quickly Ty Harris.
Boston didn't block that shot, Birch, but she certainly altered and affected it. And that's a big part of what her impact is on the defensive end.
Checking in for App State, Armani Hampton from Winston-Salem. She's a 5'11 senior, averaging 5.5 points coming off the bench for Angel Eldricken. Polachek quickly ahead to Stanley. Stanley in the paint. And there's a block from behind by Boston. South Carolina basketball with the lead, 9-0.
Really, Kiki Herbert-Harrigan drives it into the post-up, which doesn't allow for any space. I thought one of the things that in the Maryland game, when Dawn Staley's team went up to College Park, Maryland, and played, is they established Boston early in the middle.
Here's Ty Harris on the fast break, lays it in for the Gamecocks, and South Carolina out to an early big lead here in Columbia, 11-0 on the Mountaineers of Appalachian State. The South Carolina Gamecocks out to an early 9-0 lead over Appalachian State. Every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, we'll bring you Thinking Out Loud, presented by Regions Bank with Greg McElroy and Marcus Spears. They'll break down the weekend on the gridiron and talk about the hottest topics for the coming week. That's right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. 9-0 lead for Carolina, and a big reason, it's that freshman again, Aliyah Boston, coming out early for the Gamecocks, scoring the first bucket of the ball game.
Well, watch how Boston moves without the ball, gets in position, helps out right here on a defensive play to get the block. She just knows that she's going to own the middle of the floor, so she's going to run between the elbows and dominate when she gets to the rim on both ends. That's what she's good at. It's hard to keep her from getting to that spot on the floor.
And as a freshman, before she even played a collegiate ball game, she was already named to the Lisa Leslie watch list as one of the top 20 centers in the country.
Yep, and so is Bailey Plummer for Appalachian State, number 42, who's one of the top rebounders in the country. They're both on the Lisa Leslie watch list.
One a freshman, the other the senior. Plummer will go down as Appalachian State's most prolific rebounder. She's climbing the charts, already number 2 all time.
So if you're Angel Eldricken and you're playing in this game, it's hard to simulate the length and the speed of South Carolina. It's not something you might see in the Sun Belt, but this helps your team get sharper on their details. They're 0 for 6 from the floor. They got to be careful not to over-penetrate and get a good look like that. That's a good look. Now they're going to have to make a lot of shots to be able to contend with South Carolina's length.
Nice pass to Kiki Herbert-Harrigan, and she will lay it in. And South Carolina leading now 13-0. Plummer being guarded by Aliyah Boston. And it's a turnover for App State, so it will be South Carolina possession here with 6:21 remaining in the first.
This defense for South Carolina is designed to dictate. They are determined to make you take tough shots, to make you go places on the floor where you can't score, or make it tough for you to score. They close down the space. They've got high hands. They really do a good job of defending.
Destanni Henderson with the fadeaway. And it's a 15-0 lead here for the Gamecocks early in this ball game. That's Polachek, nowhere to go. She'll kick it out. Up top, Hampton. Now back to Polachek. Herbert-Harrigan swats it away. Debbie Antonelli, for a long time you have been very high on Kiki Herbert-Harrigan, and we'll get to her in just a moment, but let's take a look at the coaching resume for Angel Elderkin. 6th season as App State's head coach. That record, 66 wins, and she won the WBI championship a season ago, but her story really is just how she is an inspiration not only to her players, but pretty much everybody that follows college basketball.
She's a cancer survivor. She has won the USBA, which is a Basketball Writers Association, Most Courageous Award, endometrial cancer, and a couple of years ago, and she's doing great, and she looks terrific, and she's such a great spirit. And you know, from a basketball standpoint, she has worked with some of the best coaches and names in our game. Debbie Ryan, as you know, people around here in South Carolina certainly know Debbie Ryan because she coached Dawn Staley. Pat Summit. I mean, there's Nikki Caldwell, Nikki Fargas at LSU. The list goes on and on. Kim Barnes-Arico when she was at St. John's, who's now the head coach at Michigan. I mean, there's a long list of really great people in our game that Angel has worked with.
And Angel was taking treatments during the basketball season. She never missed a practice, was never late to a practice.
I don't know if you've driven off the mountain from Boone before, but Boone to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where her treatments took place, is not an easy drive every day.
Yes, you think about that next time you decide to take Friday off because you just want to hang out at the house.
Well, she did a great job with her team last year. They had a +14 improvement, did Angel Elderkin's team at Appalachian State, which was one of the best turnaround stories in all of college basketball last year.
Stanley, as the shot clock expires, Gamecocks' largest lead of the ball game, 17-0. Destanni Henderson trying to dial one up. Rebound collected by Polachek. There is Boston just wreaking havoc again. It is so hard to get a shot off anywhere around Aliyah Boston.
Everything is just rushed. Everything is in a hurry for App State. It's hard to get in a rhythm when you're under duress with every action and movement of the ball.
Herbert-Harrigan, three-pointers off the mark. She can hit the three-pointer.
Did you see the hops on Stanley?
Yeah.
He got up to rebound.
Herbert-Harrigan with the Stanley miss, and it's South Carolina quickly in transition with Ty Harris, who will lay it in over Brooke Biggett.
Multiple weapons and options for South Carolina, especially when they turn you over and they use their defense to get into their offense.
South Carolina will bring on Lily Grissett and Victoria Saxton. So we look at the coaching resume for Dawn Staley, 12th year as South Carolina's head coach, 273 wins, That national championship back in 2017, 4 consecutive SEC tournament championships. And she's been in the top 25. She's had the Gamecocks there 132 consecutive weeks. This is her 20th season overall as a head coach, and she is closing in on 450 wins. Just 2 more is all she needs.
Dawn Staley is a terrific tactician. She's an excellent motivator. She's a great teacher. She's inspiring in her own way. I've watched her over the years sort of take on the role of being that of, I want to say like a mentor for a lot of young coaches. And her role with USA Basketball has only allowed her to feel more comfortable doing that. You know, I mean, a lot of people are inspired by what Dawn has done and what she's capable of doing.
Zaya Cook, nice underhand feed there to Kiki Herbert-Harrigan, who lays it in for the Gamecocks as they go up now 21-0. And one thing that Dawn Staley does, you know, most successful people, they like to hang out with other people that are successful. And she has surrounded herself with a great group of supporting cast members.
Her staff is fantastic. When you start with Lisa Boyer, who's been with her as Dawn's head coach with the Richmond Rage and the ABL. I remember because I called those games. I called the ABL championship when Columbus Quest beat the Richmond Rage, and Lisa was the head coach and Dawn was a great point guard. And then Jolette Law and Fred Shamil, and then the rest of the staff. It's a hard-working group over there, and they're all on the same page.
Victoria Saxon with the lay-in puts Carolina up now 23-0. 2:47 remaining here in the first. There's Destanni Henderson just knifing into that passing lane, and she will lay it in. And South Carolina just off and rolling.
I think I'm starting to wonder if Appalachian State's going to score.
Polacek, not there. Big rebound for Kiki Herbert-Harrigan.
That would be a travel. South Carolina hasn't made many mistakes at all in the first quarter. I mean, they've been locked in on the defensive end.
25-0, 2:14 remaining here in the first is Appalachian State. They're rushed, like you said. This defense that Dawn Staley has put together, you know, it starts with Boston, and then you've got Kiki Herbert-Harrigan as well, and you just have to rush every shot. It's almost like you're trying to play in a phone booth.
Well, South Carolina's bigger at every position, and they've just have the ability to overpower.
Turnover there for South Carolina, as Ty Harris will rotate back in for the Gamecocks. Ty Harris, really, when she came on board as a freshman, Dawn Staley just kind of knew it. She said, this is going to be who I am going to rely on later, and I'm just going to have to build her up. And it took Ty Harris about a year or two to really get what Dawn Staley wanted from her, and boy, has she performed or what. Herbert-Harrigan, fade away, good.
Well, Ty Harris plays with what I call the 3 W's. Who to get the ball to, when, and where. And when you can answer why, that makes you elite. That's the kind of point guard she is. And she's the active career leader in the SEC in steals and assists.
Plummer, not there, and it's a rebound for Carolina, and here's Ty Harris.
That's the first time Plummer's really caught the ball in a scoring position. I'd go right back to her and try to get something going for her inside.
Especially with Boston out of this rotation for Dawn Staley's Gamecocks. But then you have to contend with Herbert-Harrigan, and Lily Brissett is a big guard. She can play in the post as well.
Yeah, Lily is between a 3-4, and she's worked really hard on her face-up skill, her handle, her range. She could be a real asset outside the three-point line if she works on it. Because Ty Harris and Zaya Cook can certainly score from out there. So can Destanni Henderson.
And Appalachian State may go this entire first quarter without scoring, Debbie. 30-0 Gamecocks after that Ty Harris splashdown three. So Polachek coming back on for App State.
You know, everywhere I've been since the Maryland game, I've had people ask me, are they that good? Is South Carolina that good? They are. They're really good. Their freshmen are good. They defend. Ty Harris, I think, pulls it all together because she understands. She's been in a big moment. She reads. It's a terrific job coming off that ball screen, ready to stick the 15-footer.
And when you're comfortable with that jump shot, it just grows and grows and grows. And South Carolina also, Debbie Antonelli, I think this is a team, yes, with those new freshmen, but they have bonded very, very quickly, and they have great chemistry. Three-pointer counted for Appalachian State. They will score in this quarter, and they get a hand from the partisan crowd here at the Colonial Life Arena.
It's good because I don't think I've ever seen a scoreless quarter ever.
32-3, Gamecocks. Herbert-Harrigan buries the three-pointer at the buzzer in South Carolina. They're just having a fun Sunday here in the capital city. They lead after the first quarter 35-3 over Appalachian State. South Carolina rolling over Appalachian State right now 35-3 as we are set to begin the second quarter here in Columbia. And they're on the bench for the Gamecocks. Destanni Littleton, you know, if you are in your transfer period and you can't play because of the transfer rules, as Destanni transferring into this program from Texas, you might as well go ahead and have that surgery done, not on one, but on both legs.
Well, they did apply for a waiver, a transfer waiver, and it was denied, so she went ahead and had the surgery. But I'm going to tell you, because I saw Destanni, who's a transfer from Texas, I watched her play last year. They're counting on her to be a shooter from outside the arc. Early on, when I was watching her in practice in September, she was down 20 pounds from her frame from last year. So I know they're looking forward to getting her healthy and having her spend the year getting ready for next year.
And that's been a little bit of the magic potion, too, that Dawn Staley has added here to the South Carolina program. Each and every year, she is going to pull someone out of that transfer portal. It's going to bring in some good leadership and some good skills level as well.
It's a part of college basketball now, and most coaching staffs have someone on their staff that's assigned to the portal to watch for graduate transfers, and it's a big part of recruiting now.
Here's Henderson for South Carolina. Do you think
you
it's
could
getting out of control?
Well, I think the NCAA needs to clean up the rules on it. I mean, how are people eligible and some are not? It's unclear, and I think they need to figure out how they're going to clean that up.
Great pass there from Boston.
You know, Birch, you could argue that South Carolina had two of the most important transfers in the history of college basketball, because Alicia Gray and Kayla Davis both helped them win a national championship in 2017.
Indeed.
And Jess Shepard at Notre Dame in 2018, when they won the title, she was a very important transfer. So it's a part of the game. You just have to figure out how you're going to use it, and if you want to use it as a coach.
Gamecocks out to a 37-3 lead. App State basketball with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Polachek nowhere to go there. Here's Plummer, and she's going to commit the turnover.
At least to start the quarter, I think Appalachian State has been better at running their stuff, okay? Because you have to move the ball, reverse the ball, and the more sides you get, the better chance the defense will break down.
Aliyah Grissett, nice pass inside and making it count. One of those freshmen, Bree Beal, and that's what Bree Beal needs. You said that earlier in this game, that she needed to get some high percentage shots.
Get an easy one. That was a nice move under the basket.
Look at Boston right there. And Destanni Henderson will lay it in. The communication of Boston is really, really fun to watch, especially from a freshman. I mean, this is her first year playing.
Well, she calls out every action,
Yeah.
Birch. It's what you're supposed to do. Most teams start out talking the first or second possession of each quarter, and then they stop. Boston never stops talking on a defense, and that's what you want your anchor to do.
Polachek, three-point shot will not go, and Boston is there for the rebound. Beal, dribble drive. And Lily Brissett is there for the Gamecocks. Nice hustle play. Gets the applause from the crowd here at the Colonial Life Arena. Shot clock under 10 now. At 5. 2 seconds left, and Henderson will not get it off in time.
There's a win for Appalachian State. A good job with their defense, getting back and setting up their D, forcing South Carolina to work a little bit on the offensive end. You're going to have to find small victories inside this game if you're Coach Elderkin. That would be a win.
9 Appalachian State turnovers so far, and South Carolina has turned those into 18 points. Stanley drifting to her left. Now we'll give it away to Polachek, looking for Plummer inside. Possession arrow favors the Gamecocks.
Really good hustle, good sportsmanship inside by Plummer and Boston. Play hard, go hard, and give each other a tap on the back. Good hustle.
41-3 Gamecocks right now. 6:45 remaining until halftime.
See, this is the lineup that I'm interested in because Ty Harris is off the floor. So I'm always interested in what South Carolina looks like when she's not running the show. She's over there getting a break now. She plays 27 minutes a game, and early in the season, she's playing the most. No one's playing more than 27 minutes. But when we get to SEC play, she's probably going to have to be about 32, 33 minutes a game.
Saxton handing off to Lily Brissett.
When I talked to Dawn Staley at shoot-around this morning, she said one of the things her team's been really working on is offensive execution this week. She said we let Dayton hang around with them, if you will. I mean, they were pretty much even the second, third, and fourth quarters. They had such a great start, and she wanted to make sure that her team understood the detail, the discipline that is required on the offensive end. And you know what, because she sees the bigger picture, because Mississippi State scored 124 points last night. That's a lot of offense. And as good as these teams are defensively in the SEC, you're going to have to be able to score if you're going to win the title.
Destanni Henderson with her first personal foul of the ball game. Carolina up 41-3. Gamecocks opened the season laying 103 points on Alabama State, holding them to just 43 points. Then going up to Maryland, taking care of the Terps there, 63-54, and on the road at Dayton, a 75-49 win. Stanley, good jump shot there for Stanley and App State, and that's her first bucket of the game.
A really good piece of film, right, Birch? So Coach Elderkin can break it down tomorrow and say, look, this is how, when we execute, this is the shot we get, wide open, against one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Boston just going right to work on the senior Plummer for Appalachian State, and Boston is showing us why she is so talented and on that preseason Lisa Leslie watch list as a freshman. Plummer, the other one, too.
Polachek doing a nice job off the ball screen. Defender goes under. She pulls the trigger and hits his triple.
Now, how about Kiki Herbert-Harrigan and her role this year? Does Boston make her better?
Oh, no question. I think they make each other better. I think Kiki is more comfortable than I've ever seen her. You know, when you get to be a senior, there's a sense of urgency about what you do, because it's the last time you get to do many things as a senior, and she wants to be a pro.
Good hustle play there by Bree Bill. She keeps it alive for Carolina. drawing contact, Isaiah Cook. Cook going basically home to Ohio in that game against Dayton. 27 points, 7 rebounds. She was 9 of 15 from the floor and hit 5 big three-pointers. 45-7 here in Columbia. The Gamecocks all over the Mountaineers. In Columbia, it is Ty Harris having a Ty Harris type day.
Ty Harris is so good defensively, does a great job of guarding her player, is very good in their rotations, solid behind the arc, very good in their ball screen offense. Right here, look at this, pulls up at 15, doesn't need to over-penetrate. All you need is 2 dribbles in a quarter court, Birch. High IQ, great demeanor, never changes her expression.
9 points in this ball game for Ty Harris, 2 assists, and quietly Herbert-Harrigan has already netted a double-figure scoring day, 11 points to go along with 5 rebounds. At the line for Carolina is Isaiah Cook.
South Carolina has done a really good job of keeping Appalachian State off the free throw line. Anytime you over-penetrate. I mean, they lead the nation in block shots. They're averaging 11 a game. If they keep that up, that's impressive.
7 already here against Appalachian State in the first half, including that one.
I mean, just really good at, they're funneling players into their back row defensively. So you've got shot blockers back there that have done a very good job early on in the season of not getting in foul trouble.
This South Carolina defense holding App State to 3 of 23 shooting from the floor. South Carolina 26 points in the paint.
Every player's in a stance. Everybody's connected. They rotate. They have given up 4 offensive rebounds, but they've done a really good job on Bailey Plummer early on. She only has 1 rebound in the game.
And has had no good looks at the basket at all offensively. Isaiah Cook launches the 3, and South Carolina is hot from behind the three-point line here today. That is the 4th that the Gamecocks have hit.
Just really good rhythm in their offense.
Bottled up along the baseline. Plummer nowhere to go, and South Carolina will pick her pocket. Ty Harris thought about the spot up 3. Brissett cannot make that shot to fall as she was out of control, but look at Herbert-Harrigan keeping it alive for South Carolina. Another big hustle play for the Gamecocks. And they're leading 49-8. You would think you're going to take a play off. No.
That's a great possession for South Carolina. We've been talking about film from a teaching standpoint. That's a great piece of film for a hustle package for South Carolina. It was so good it got Coach Staley off the bench cheering on her team and encouraging them.
2 personal fouls now for Bailey Plummer. Last season here at the Colonial Life Arena, she was held to just 4 points on 1 of 6 shooting from the floor because she got into early foul trouble. Whistle away from the ball.
Aliyah Boston plays the game with such great balance. I don't think anything ever bothers her. Like somebody shoves her, pushes her. She plays the game low to high. She understands timing on her post-ups. Good job defending the door screen.
Herbert-Harrigan has that jumper dialed in right now.
Really good in the mid-range today.
51-8 Gamecocks. Polachek being shaded by Destanni Henderson. It's Henderson, Brissett, Boston, Ty Harris, and Herbert-Harrigan, the 5 on the floor for the Gamecocks. 13 points right now on 6 of 10 shooting for Herbert-Harrigan. Boston did not block that shot, Debbie, but she is a big reason why that shot did not fall. So Boston will check out. She'll get a breather as Victoria Sexton will come back on. Look at the big smile on the face of Boston. She enjoys playing this game.
Oh, she's just a great personality to be around. She's fun, she's articulate, she's having a great time, she's enjoying her college experience, plays with a high IQ. I enjoy talking to her. You talk to her, she's 17 years old. She's like talking to an adult. She's just a kid. She's only 17. She's not even 18 yet.
And she'll be going home next week when South Carolina will take that trip to the Paradise Jam, U.S. Virgin Islands, island of St. Thomas. And that is going to be a very tough schedule. South Carolina has a tough non-conference schedule as it is, but they will have Indiana, Washington State, and Baylor, the three teams that they draw in that Paradise Jam tournament.
Now Baylor, unfortunately for them, Lauren Cox, one of the preseason top 5 players in the country, is dealing with a foot issue. Hopefully for college basketball, she won't be out very long. Henderson
thought about the three, being guarded by Polachek. Now she'll pick up the screen from Saxton. Grissett unable to hang on to that offensive rebound as it falls down to Polachek. And App State will throw it away in transition. Gamecock basketball here with under 2 to play until halftime. Carolina ahead 51-9.
Polachek, a transfer from Central Florida for Coach Elderkin.
Victoria Saxton just never giving up.
See how she stayed low, kept herself on balance, didn't put the ball on the floor. Really good at doing that. I think she's the most improved player from last year to this year. And Lily Grissett getting a chance to guard the point guard on the other team. Now that would be a piece of defensive strategy that would be fun to keep your eye on, wouldn't it? There's a lot of really good point guards.
Another big hustle play. Victoria Saxton there for Carolina. Clock stopped at 1:06 as Kiki Herbert-Harrigan comes out, and South Carolina already with two of the fan favorites on the floor early in a ball game. Elisa Weselek coming in, and Olivia Thompson has already reported.
Well, everyone dressed has played. Olivia Thompson in warm-ups today, pregame, hit a shot that I had to get my tape measure out and go measure because it was at 30 feet 7 inches.
We had to do some tough
We'll
math
do some math on
too.
that. You know I am with math, Birch.
Grissett too strong on that jumper. Goes down to Stanley. Under a minute to go here before halftime. Appalachian State did not score until 30 seconds left in the first quarter. $14 turnovers for Appalachian State right now. Weselek off her foot, but right over to Thompson. Olivia Thompson, the all-time leading scorer of Lexington High School, just about 15 minutes away from the Colonial Life Arena. Destanni Henderson creating havoc on the other end for the Gamecocks defensively.
I can't wait to see what Dawn Staley and her staff come up with in terms of a block party theme, because there's got to be something around here that's going to grow into. There's just too many players that can block shots. It's a great weapon on the defensive end when you have somebody or multiple players that can do that.
Weselek shakes the defender, short on the jumper, and South Carolina will head to the locker room with a huge, epic lead right now over Appalachian State here in Columbia, 53-9. We'll have stats and highlights when we return to the Colonial Life Arena. Stay with us. Well, South Carolina certainly bringing the fire to the Colonial Life Arena, and a big locomotive as well, as this train has been rolling for the Gamecocks. A big block party. Aliyah Boston doing it again, and also Herbert-Harrigan. This defense for South Carolina just kind of makes you feel bad for yourself.
Well, it just sets the tone, right? This is their identity. They're going to be a defensive-oriented team. They're going to anchor the middle, and they're going to score points in the paint. And then they're going to build from that. So everything starts from both rims for Dawn Staley. And she's got a lot of talent. She's got a lot of weapons and a lot of different ways they can hurt you.
Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half, and we'll start with that block party for the Gamecocks, and it's Boston leading the charge.
Well, they average 11 on the season, and they've already got 9 in the first half. And what I'm always impressed with in terms of shot blocking ability is blocking it into the transition game so you can ignite your offense. It really helps get you in transition. On the offensive side, they've moved the ball, they've taken quality shots. Aliyah Boston does a great job around the rim. They've got 9 offensive rebounds. They've got 9 blocks. They've got 4 triples from outside the arc. I think their balance has been good. The bench has contributed on both sides of the ball. And they just have the ability to make the spectacular and make you say, wow.
How about that pass there from Zaya Cook inside for Carolina, and South Carolina's defense doing it again. Appalachian State just 3 of 29 from the floor. They did not score a bucket until about 30 seconds left in the first half, or first quarter, rather.
Well, I think if you're Appalachian State, you're just running through your stuff trying to see if you can execute, right? It's really important that you just try to switch sides of the floor as many times as you can, take care of the basketball, and try to get a good shot. But for South Carolina, I know that the SEC has been very much a defensive league, but I think this year you're going to have to really be able to score, and South Carolina's ability to put points on the board is going to be critical for the race between them, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and a team like Arkansas or Kentucky.
Well, we'll have more when we return to Columbia, South Carolina. It's a big lead for the Gamecocks over Appalachian State. Second half when we come back. Welcome back to Columbia, South Carolina. And that is a great job right there, Dad, of being a spotter. Up. And a good dismount, too. As we're looking at this Gamecock huddle, South Carolina on point in the first half, 53-9 after one half of play. We're ready for the third quarter action to begin here in Columbia. Dawn Staley in her 12th season, 276 wins here at Carolina, 448 overall as a head coach. And the fans, they respond to good basketball here at the Colonial Life Arena.
You know, this is an incredible display of all demographics. It's family, it's young, it's old, it's fantastic, and they love their Gamecocks. They are into it. I remember coming here when Dawn Staley first got the job, and there were a couple of hundred people here. And it is true, if you build it, they will come. She built a product, and then the administration here under Ray Tanner and Eric Hyman before really made this a great atmosphere for the fans. They've supported it, and it's one of the few places in America where you could get into a parking traffic jam outside. It takes a while to get out of this place. That's not a disrespectful thing to the parking. It means that there's a lot of people that want to be here.
And you have to take Dawn Staley Drive to get out of here.
That's right.
They've already renamed the road.
I'm waiting for that statue of Asia Wilson. That's got to be coming pretty soon, right? That's a big statue.
Yes. It is in the works.
There's the double team on Boston. She's a very capable passer.
And a good receiver and very nimble in the paint as well.
And so off the half, Angel Elderkin, the head coach for Appalachian State, switches to a zone. I know she wanted to play man, but she is going to need to work on her zone and being able to rebound out of the zone as well.
Boston 9 of 12 shooting free throws coming into this game. This is there. And Bailey Plummer whistled for her third foul. there's a rebound for Plummer. She gets it over Kiki Herbert-Harrigan.
Good pump fake on the shot blocker, right? Get Boston in the air and she flies by. You got to stick that 15-footer.
Boston over to Herbert-Harrigan. Shot clock at 15 now. And there's Boston laying it in.
Yeah, they missed Bree Beal on the post-up on the inside and the duck in. Now, that's going to be a nice weapon that South Carolina, with their bigger guards, can use against smaller guards this season.
4th game of the season and 4th game in double-digit scoring for the freshman Boston. She has 10 points now to go along with 8 rebounds. And Boston has blocked 3 shots.
Did she block that one with her elbow, I think? You just can't go in there, Birch. Not today, maybe not ever. I mean, that's a big-time block. Who do you give that one to, Kiki or Boston?
You know, I think you've got to go with the upperclassmen, maybe.
They gave the block to Kiki Herbert-Harrigan.
There you go.
You're right.
Experience counts.
Maybe she got it first.
Bree Bill. Nice job of finding Herbert-Harrigan beneath the basket. And South Carolina leading now 55-11.
You know, I can tell from last weekend, last Sunday, from the Maryland game, that South Carolina has worked on their offense. They just are more deliberate. They're reading. They're doing a good job of moving the ball. They're taking what is a good shot. They're not forcing anything. I mean, the first half they had 22 baskets. They had 13 assists. That's very good.
Shot clock coming close to 10 now, as it dips below 10. And there's Ashley Polachek with a jumper.
Cook goes underneath that ball screen. Polachek, that's the second time they've gone under a screen on her, and she's hit a triple.
Great pass, and Boston underneath. Sometimes it just looks too easy for her.
She's got a great mobility and agility. She just moves well around the motion of the basketball, right? They can try to get her right here involved in a trap, and that's a good read by Appalachian State. No help on the backside. The low man is supposed to tag that roll.
59-16 Gamecocks. And there's a rebound for Plummer. Another Gamecock block shot, that one by Beal, and misfires on the pass, just leading Boston too much there. 12 block shots now for the Gamecocks.
You know, it's not a bad thing for Beal, but it's just something to consider. She plays at one speed. She's very aggressive. She's always looking to attack, but right here, like, you just got to take a little something off this. And are you sure Boston can catch that? I'm sure she probably can, but that's a tough leave for a post player.
Nicely done. Polachek for App State. She's their leading scorer now in double figures. Herbert-Harrigan. And there is Boston to bail her out. Ty Harris showing that senior leadership there, saying slow it down, slow it down. And Herbert-Harrigan just shaking the defender and able to kiss it off the glass. Debbie, you've seen a lot of Dawn Staley teams here in Columbia and on the road. I know it's early, but is this one of the better ones that she has put together?
Well, I mean, are they capable of winning a national championship? Because that's her best team. And the answer is yes. Depending on seeding, they're going to play probably up the road in Greenville at home. So, you know, depending on all that, do they have the tools? Yes. Are they going to continue to get experience? Yes. They got a great point guard on the top of the floor. They got terrific shot blocking. They've got great athletic wing play. I do believe they have enough offense. So, yeah, could this be a team that competes for a Final Four and a national championship? Absolutely. But again, I want to say that we haven't cut the turkey yet. There's a lot of really good teams, and this year, Birch, it's more wide open than I think it's been outside of Oregon. Because Oregon is elite, and then there's all these other teams. All right, so Kelly Graves at Oregon has the #1 team in the country, and they deserve to be #1. They've got a lot of really good players, including Sabrina Ionescu, who is a triple-double machine and had a triple-double last night. She's the reigning Wade Trophy winner, best player in college basketball.
And if you look at the national championship team that Dawn Staley had, it was a lot of veterans and 2 big-time transfers that you had already mentioned. This is more along the lines of 2 veterans and 3, 4, 5 newcomers.
Well, I think what's going to be so exciting for college basketball this year is in the Pac-12, the SEC, and the ACC, as Polacek knocks down her 3rd triple. Those 3 power leagues, the team that wins the regular season might not be the team that wins the tournament and might not be the team that reps in the Final Four. I think that's how deep these 3 leagues are. That's how good the talent is on those teams, which makes it fun for the fans, makes it fun for college basketball.
63-22. A fun score here in Columbia. Stay with us. From Ashley Polacek here in the second half, and she's dialed up a couple of 3-pointers. A good night for Polacek here in the second half shooting the basketball.
Playing off the ball screen, helping Appalachian State to a 13-10 third quarter score, outscoring the Gamecocks. Just taking what the defense gives her.
Polacek, she's from Ottawa, Canada. She spent some time at the University of Central Florida before arriving in Boone. And you know, we've talked about these heralded freshmen for Carolina. One of those is in Canada today, playing for Team Canada in their quest to qualify for the 2020 Olympic Games.
Well, that's Letitia Ami here. There's, I think there's 5 college players that are in Edmonton right now trying to help the Canadian team qualify for the Olympics.
Zaya Cook whips it over to Beal. Contact made by Lainey Gosnell.
Beal is not worried about contact. And she is as strong a freshman as I've seen in a long time. Her body, her build, how hard she plays. Like I said, one speed. Everything is fast and hard.
Boston loses it on the floor. South Carolina has been sloppy at times, you might say, here in the second half, committing more turnovers here in the third quarter than they did the entire first half. 6 now here in the third. They had 5 in the first half all told. Good work there by Boston, the intermediary passer there to Kiki Herbert-Harrigan. Kiki now with 21 points, 6 rebounds, a couple of assists, a couple of block shots.
One speed.
It's fast. Let's go. How do you slow that down?
You'd rather have that. You'd rather have that than have to ramp it up, right? I mean, she's just got a great energy about her and good basketball body language. Dawn Staley will teach her. It will take a little time, but you'd rather have it that way than the other way. She's teaching right now about angles, spacing, timing.
Building the habits now for April.
You got to have a wider vision about what this game means, right, in the big picture, and that's what Dawn Staley gets. You don't accomplish what she's done over the years without understanding how every rep, every practice, everything is building towards March and April.
And she's got a good one beside her as well, Lisa Boyer, and they're a good tag team together.
They're a great tag team. A lot of coaches would love to have somebody like Lisa Boyer. Been a head coach. So has Jolette Law. She's been a head coach as well. You surround your people. You surround yourself with people that are going to help elevate. You said a rising tide, all boats rise at the same level. What's that saying? I'm not good on the cliches.
I missed that one as well.
Rising tide rises all boats, right?
That would be what would happen, I would assume. Kind of like going through
the
locks
water,
in a canal.
Exactly. So you want everyone to raise their level.
Harris.
Back to the zone.
Henderson now. Count it. Destanni Henderson. She's got a couple of those three-pointers here today.
Yeah, I anticipate this to be a better three-point shooting team this year. I think they've shown it early on.
Averaging 4 three-point shots made per game, Carolina.
Well, here's the thing. You know, when you get to, against light competition, meaning conference play, and you have size and athleticism and speed, you're going to be able to have to knock down some shots, because otherwise they're going to double Boston and take away the interior game. The more balance you have, the more shooters you have, the harder it is to take away points in the paint.
Double digits for Ty Harris now scoring the basketball. She's got 11, 4 assists today. Lily Brissett with the interception. Nice pass ahead, and Saxton with the finish.
Now you want to be a guard, Lily? You want to play on the perimeter? That was a pretty sweet move right there, because she got rid of the ball and avoided the charge. That looked like a guard to me.
Yes. Big collision there. Nose to nose right there. Lily Brissett bumping in to Appalachian State's Armani Hampton. And that'll wake you up in a heartbeat.
Look at Lily. Phil in the middle, dropping it off. Watch how she gets away from the charge. Terrific.
Now, Asia Wilson will say she taught her that move.
Well, everybody learned something from Asia, right?
Lily Brissett appears to be better of the two as far as damage done after that face-to-face collision there. Now, a good round of applause for Armani Hampton. She took the bad end of that. Yeah, it will just, anytime you get hit in the nose, it'll rattle your rack.
Oh, yeah.
Make you feel really, really weird about yourself. So Armani taking a seat. Lily will stay in for Carolina. Between the legs dribble there for Brissett.
Probably not the best angle to make that entry.
South Carolina trying to keep it alive. Got to give credit there to Henderson for another hustle play, but it will go down to Appalachian State here. We're closing in on 40 seconds remaining in the third.
Polachek listed at 5'5", maybe. She makes up for her lack of height with her great hustle and heart. You can see how much she loves to play.
Zaya Cook with her first personal foul.
I think they'd really like to get Lainey Gosnell going. She averaged 10 points a game last year. She just really hasn't been able to find it. Here she is with the ball right here on cue.
And she gets it to drop Gosnell.
They'd really like to get her going.
She had a good game here in Columbia last year, scoring 11 points with 5 boards. Carolina playing for the final shot here in the third. Henderson running point for the Gamecocks, being guarded by Polachek.
little pick and pop with Kiki.
Kiki can hit from there. Misses that opportunity, however, and it will go down to Brooke Biggett. And at the buzzer, shot well short. South Carolina ahead by 42 after 3 here in Columbia. Gamecocks leading by 42 after 3, 72-30 over Appalachian State. Mountaineers under the direction of head coach Angel Eldricken, and she's got some things to work with to try to build on. They finished very, very strong in Sun Belt play last season, finishing 5th in that conference, and they are predicted to finish in the middle of the pack, around 5th again this season. South Carolina out to a 3-0 start, including a couple of big wins on the road at number 4 Maryland, taking down the Terps 63-54, and taking down Dayton 75-49. Kiki Herbert-Harrigan having a good afternoon here in Columbia. 21 points, 6 rebounds, some block shots as well.
Not good execution to start the fourth quarter.
South Carolina now with 10 turnovers. They had just 5 in the first half.
See, now Kiki Herbert-Harrigan's going to guard the point guard. So if you're in the SEC and you're scouting this game, coaches, you're going to look at all the different versatility defensively, all the different players that can be disruptive. I like that Dawn Staley is toying with a couple of new things. And I asked her today if she had her whole defensive system in, and she said no. She wants to be really good at a few things right now with a young team. And you can see the logic why, right? But we've already seen Lily Brissett on point guards. Now you got Kiki Herbert-Harrigan on a point guard. And they're going to switch on all their actions right now. Still, that's a daunting look from the top of the floor.
Gosnell driving in. Count it for Lainey Gosnell. Good move there for Lainey.
Yep, good job by Lainey to use her dominant hand and to go hard to the rim. So you run a little action to clear out and open up the floor. And without Boston in there, Angel Eldricken knows that she can get her team to the rim to have some opportunities. Especially if Kiki Herbert-Harrigan's out on the perimeter defending.
Michaela Porter, her first foul as Beal will go to the line. Boston checking back in, and Herbert-Harrigan will have a seat. Kiki gets a good round of applause from the Gamecock fans and a high five from Coach Staley as well. Bill, very good free throw shooter.
She gets there a lot.
Now Saxton out top for Carolina.
It's an interesting look because they're switching on everything. So you're starting with great ball pressure and your switch.
How about Zaya Cook keeping the dribble there?
You know, I was thinking about the Harlem Globetrotters talking to Jolette Law today. That looked like a little bit of move from back in Jolette's day.
Well, Curly Neal action there. Saxton working hard to the hoop and put Victoria on the line.
You know, I could have won a lot of money today from some of the guys in the building earlier today talking about Jolette Law being a Harlem Globetrotter. Look at that play right there. That is sweet right there to keep your balance. Look, her head goes right up, her eyes up the floor.
Bailey Plummer whistled for her 4th personal foul as Boston, another rebound, and Boston off the glass. Boston, her 2nd double-double, and this is the 4th game she's gone into double-figure scoring.
So long.
Look at that, Destanni Henderson. You cannot go to sleep on her. She will pick your pocket, and then she will spin in the lane. Wow. This is a very athletic team. Fun to watch indeed. First foul whistled on, actually that's the 2nd on Porter. She will head to the sidelines as Henderson at the line for the Gamecocks knocks it down. And Destanni good on both shots. South Carolina's lead now 80-32. Stanley has been held in check, very quiet tonight. And there's another swat, this one from Saxton.
I mean, she gets the switch, and now you're going into 6-4 and 6-3.
South Carolina with 14 block shots now.
Again, Stanley trying to get to the rim. You know, if you're Coach Elderkin for this game, you want to know, you know, can you adjust as a player? Like, that move will work maybe in the Sun Belt, but against South Carolina's size, it's really hard to get anything going in the paint.
Third personal foul on Boston. Plummer has it swatted away, and Zia Cook taking a little finger there close to the eye.
Definitely frustrating for Bailey Plummer. One of the best rebounders in the nation. She's going to take a seat. Bailey already has her undergraduate degree, and she's in the police academy at Appalachian State. There's only 2 in the country as she picks up a violation right there.
Yeah, that's her 5th. She actually is on patrol during the week with the Appalachian State Campus Police Department.
I made sure I introduced myself and spoke to her this morning because, unfortunately, I like to speed, and if she ever pulls me over, I want to make sure she remembers I was nice to her on the air.
Well, that's what she wants to do. She wants to work for the North Carolina Highway Patrol, so better watch out on I-40 if you're up there, Debbie. But that was very wise of you to go ahead and introduce yourself. It hasn't been a very memorable trip to this building in 2 years, though, for Bailey Plummer. Gamecocks have done a good job of neutralizing her.
She's got a brilliant career ahead of her. She's getting her master's in public administration and justice studies. Bailey Plummer did her internship this past summer with Caldwell County State Patrol, so she's definitely on her way. And that's what you want to get when you graduate a degree. I mean, when you graduate a job.
Nora Galvey at the line from Catalonia, Spain. She just ruined free chicken sandwiches for everybody here by knocking down both free throws.
They still got the chicken thing going in the fourth quarter here, huh?
They do. It is quite popular. With the Gamecock fans, not with the opposing team.
Got to miss 2 in a row, right, in the fourth quarter. And that's a luxury right there for South Carolina. They've got multiple guards that they can take to the block, invert, and score.
Stanley picks up the screen. Now we'll hand back to Galva. Now Gosnell open for the three-pointer, and she buries it. Good rotation there for App State.
Yeah, well, Elisa Wieselek did her job. Wieselek, sorry. She took the low man on the roll, and she communicated for Bree Beal to get out there and guard the three-point line.
Beal fires a rocket into Wieselek. She's always at 5th gear.
Fast, 1 speed. She threw it a little bit behind.
Stanley will have to hand off. Gosnell open again. Strong off the back iron, and Beal is there to collect for Carolina, 84-37. The Gamecocks with the lead and the ball. Wieselek, straightaway 3.
The Appalachian State just never really got into rhythm, overmatched every position with size. But I'll tell you what, after all that Angel Eldrick, the head coach for Appalachian State, has been through in battling cancer, this is not a big deal. There's a great chance for you to learn something about the character of your team and to get prepared for what matters to them, which will be conference play. And she came in here last year and lost by 30, and then had one of the nation's best turnarounds by winning 14 more games than they won the year before. So that's a huge story out of the Sun Belt.
Yeah, 22-14 overall last season, and winning the Women's Basketball Invitational Tournament, 4 games there. So a great job, and you might say that some of that turnaround started right here in the lessons that they took away in that loss at South Carolina.
Absolutely.
Stanley at the line, hits the front end. Coming on for the Mountaineers, Brooke Biggett back on out of Katy, Texas, number 20, and Michaela Porter, she's from Pittsburgh, transferred in from Cincinnati. South Carolina running the perimeter offense, and there's Destanni Henderson again with a 3.
Really good screen by Alyssa Wesolek.
Henderson now 8 points, 5 rebounds, a couple of assists. Shot clock under 10 now.
Good drift pass.
Beal on the run. Trying to run that fast break skip pass ahead to Lily Grissett. Turnover Carolina, and in transition, Nora Galvey for Appalachian State. Saxton unable to hold it for Carolina. We'll go back to Appalachian State. And we've got a timeout on the floor with 3:44 remaining in this ball game. It is all Gamecocks, 89-41, Carolina with the lead. It's finally here. You can download the Disney Plus app right now and start streaming the best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic, all ad-free, and wherever and whenever you want them. For more, go to DisneyPlus.com. That's DisneyPlus.com. And here for South Carolina, it has certainly been a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, so to speak, or more like any of the features that the wonderful creators at Disney have offered. I've already dialed into that app and have kind of binge watched several of the movies from our childhood.
Great product. Who's your favorite Disney character, Spurge?
You know, I guess I would have to go with Goofy. He's always happy.
I'm a big Lion King fan, so I got to go with Simba.
89-43 now is Jackie Christ, 6'3" freshman from Sterling, Virginia. We'll go to the line.
Coach Elderkin just told me her brother Jimmy just committed to be incoming football player at Penn State. She's got a family of athletes. Does Jackie?
Lily Brissett backs away, looking for Saxton underneath. Do you think Champ is in his holding area watching the Disney Channel right now?
Champ in his luxury suite somewhere, Dawn Staley's dog. I mean, that guy's got the life.
Saxton good on the first.
That is the most loved dog I think I've ever seen.
And it's not just the basketball team, the softball team.
Oh, everybody loves Champ.
They love to get a hold of Champ in the spring. (91-43) Gamecocks. Galva kicks it out. Westlake trying to fight for the rebound. Saxton trying to swipe one away and count it for Maya Calder finally, the 6'1" junior out of Landover, Maryland.
See if Olivia Thompson can shake free for a good look.
High pass into Saxton. Loses the handle, and Jackie Chris doing a good job there defensively. South Carolina ranked number 6 in the country right now. And Debbie, you have a hand in the voting in the AP poll, and you have always been transparent. You put South Carolina, how far do they go up after that win on the road at Maryland and the win against Dayton and the performance here today against Appalachian State?
Well, I certainly moved them up after the Maryland win and moved Maryland below them. But I will tell you, I think Texas A&M was my pick to win the league. South Carolina second, Mississippi State, and then I put Arkansas at number 4, which I think a lot of Mike Neighbors and the style of play. But as you know, in this league, it's nothing easy. Kentucky's ranked ahead of Arkansas, but I had LSU in my initial poll because I think that's my sleeper team is Nikki Fargas and LSU. They've got enough experience. They got size on the inside. She's got a little more scoring. They've got a big game tonight on the road at Tulane. It's always a great matchup to watch. And I'm one of 2 AP poll voters that didn't have Notre Dame in the top 25, and they're 2-2 right now with a really hard schedule. I had them the other night. So like I said earlier, the national picture, there's Oregon and then their elite and everyone else after that is wide open. It's going to be really fun to watch the season with some really good marquee matchups. And to Dawn Staley's credit, playing on the road with a young team at Maryland, that's the earliest ranking matchup in women's college basketball in 20 years. So that doesn't happen very often that 2 top 10 teams meet in the first week of the season.
Lily Brissett loses the handle momentarily into paint. And App State,
good hustle.
Galva, will hang on to it for the Mountaineers. A minute and a half remaining. South Carolina now has broken the record for most blocks in a game, 17 now. Beats the old record of 16 that Carolina had against Clemson, and they blocked 16 shots against Winthrop.
Teams are just going to have to get used to. As she misses the first one, I'm just going to be quiet now because the crowd's going to tell you whether they win chicken or not.
And out come the Boo Birds. You know, it can be so rude.
I think the other coaching staff and the other teams know when you come in here in the fourth quarter, that's what it is.
Reset. Olivia Thompson Now Weselek back to Grissett.
See, without a true point guard, I guess without Destanni Henderson on top of the floor, you need somebody to create a shot for Thompson. Ty Harris would get her a bucket.
Under a minute to go. Carolina will remain undefeated. Then we'll go to 4-0. Mountaineers of App State still looking for their first win. There's Henderson. She will set it up for Olivia.
Oh.
And Galvin lays it in on the other end for Appalachian State. $92 points here today for South Carolina. They put up 103 in the season opener against Alabama State. Held to just 63 in the win over Maryland and 75 in the win on the road at Dayton. Big game today, a big first half for Dawn Staley's Gamecocks. Appalachian State falling here today. They go to 0-3. South Carolina moves to 4-0. App State will have Gardner-Webb at home next, and South Carolina will get set for USC Upstate here in Columbia, then a trip up to Clemson. For our entire crew in Columbia, South Carolina, for Debbie Antonelli, I am Birch Antley saying so long from the Colonial Life Arena. We'll talk to you next time.